In Skagway, Alaska, we decided to do a hike and float with Skagway Shore Tours. We were told by other people that Skagway is kind of a little town and there's not much to do in the town, which we found to be true. It's very cute with gold era buildings, but there wasn't much to do there, so we decided to go out into nature.
If we see a bear, first thing we want to do is we want to bunch up. We tend to be single file as we're hiking, and if someone sees a bear, and I guarantee you don't have to yell bear, say I see a bear. Everyone registers that. And what we'll do is we'll bunch up and take a few pictures. You got cameras, so I encourage you to take pictures. And you don't want to interact with the bear, we'll quietly observe the bear.
The hike was 2 miles up the Chilkoot Trail. It was pretty strenuous at parts, but since it's only 2 miles, it wasn't too bad. It's just very steep in several places, and since it had rained recently, it was a little slick. We had a couple people fall, but overall, it was a really fun little walk. The hike and float tour was $99 per person for the 2-mile hike and the float down the river. We had a few snacks provided by the company afterwards, and they of course provided all the gear needed for the float. The float down the nearby Taiya River is really very peaceful. You'll see lots of wildlife. You'll see a couple of random houses, which I found interesting that people lived out there, but you'll also just see a lot of very beautiful views. You'll see mountains. Our guide was knowledgeable and he seemed like he knew what he was doing. He said he'd been rafting for decades and I believed him. He was very impressive on the river. We never got even close to anything. The most highly recommended thing in Skagway to do is take the train. It's apparently got beautiful views, but we loved this tour. We really enjoyed being in nature on the hike. We had a great guide and we got to try out several different plants and actually eat things on the trail that he pointed out. And then, of course, being in the river, getting onto the raft was really fun. It felt like a much more active and interactive trip rather than just sitting and watching scenery go by. So we highly recommend it if you're ever in Skagway and want to do something active and fun, but also incredibly beautiful.